Alrighty, so today was probably one of the better trading days I've had in a long time. It was super easy going into this morning. Obviously, we had a lot of consolidation pushing into today on ES and both NQ. We did make a 4-hour bearish SMT off of these highs from yesterday with ES. NQ was leading that move. We also had broken structure on the 1 hour. Sorry, quick yawn. We also broke structure on the 1 hour on NQ to the downside. We hadn't quite broken structure on ES yet, but we did form this massive balanced price range right here. I really like trading balanced price ranges just because they're kind of crucial points where we're either going to just blow right through them or turn around and short out of it. As you can see, we already pushed into it once and began rejecting it. And like I said, we did have this SMT at the highs showing that we were going to push down. So I was really just looking for this 1 hour gap in BPR to get disrespected and then trade down to my 3 draws on liquidity, which would be London lows, this hourly low, and then previous day low. If I'm looking to take the trade, I would take it on NQ just because obviously right now we're leading this SMT to the downside. So we're most likely to take out this draw, which we'll get into in a little bit. Drop down to the 5-minute. There wasn't really much I was looking for off of this. The 5-minute was bullish. The higher time frames were bearish. So I was really just looking for a 5-minute break of structure to the downside. We had market open on this candle here. And boom. ES broke structure to the downside. NQ was lagging behind a little bit. However, off the open candle, we did make this 5-minute SMT, which was going to be the first confluence I used. Again, even though ES was leading this lower time frame SMT, I was still favoring NQ for this trade just because we had filled into this BPR a little more. And like I said, on the higher time frame, we were leading to the downside still. Next candle, we broke structure to the downside. I went ahead and took this short right here, put my stop. I didn't want to put it all the way up here just because I never want to have a 100-point stop. So I kind of just put it right here at the top of this candle, right around 264. I set a partial profit right here at this hourly low just because if we swept London low, odds are we were going to take this hourly low as well. And then finally, I had my final draw all the way down there at the previous day low. As you can see, we'll drop down to the 1 minute. Actually, we'll stay on the 5-minute for now. Made big moves down. Right before we swept this London low, we did make a retrace back to equilibrium. As you can see right here, we made this move and we quickly rejected off of equilibrium to the downside. Took out both of our first partial profits on NQ. Didn't quite get them on ES yet, but the next candle sealed the deal on that. Began to push down a little more. Now right here at the bottom, we did turn around right at my last draw on liquidity. But again, if you look at the higher time frame, we did overextend to the downside on the 15-minute. So it was looking for a quick retrace into this 15-minute gap and then a clean rejection off of it. Obviously, we're in war markets, so I didn't quite get the clean rejection I was looking for, but we did end up coming up, tapping into this gap. We rejected it once, and then once we rejected it once on the 1 minute, I went back to the 5-minute and was really just looking for this to break 5-minute structure to the downside. Once we kind of sealed that deal on this next candle here, I moved my stop pretty much into profit down here at 144, just because if we push past this high again, we were most likely going to return back to these highs up here from the open. And we continued down. We took out our last target for 228 points. And like I said before, NQ was leading this higher time frame reversal, this higher time frame bearish SMT. So if you look, ES had a clean retrace. We came down. However, when NQ ultimately reversed after taking previous day low, you could see ES did not grab it, making a bullish SMT here at the bottom. That will be probably a play for tomorrow if we don't go out and take these highs out today. But it was a pretty straightforward day. You could actually see a long setup in here, which then pushed us all the way back up into this gap, which we're now rejecting again. Like I said, pretty straightforward day. Usually I wait for a couple more confluences, but we had a pretty clean break of structure here. Usually I wait for that retrace before entering, but I would rather enter and take a little bit of drawdown than, miss the move down just because these London lows were so close. I didn't want to see us come down and sweep those and then get a retrace, just because I'd be a little less confident in the trade. Overall, pretty good start to April. I didn't take any trades yesterday. It was just a little too choppy for me, but just have to stay disciplined and continue moving on. But anyway, that was the trade I took this morning. I'm off for the day, and that is about it. So if you like these, like, comment, questions, subscribe. My Discord's in the bio if you want to join that, where I signal these. That is $300 a month. Go ahead and check that out. We had a bunch of people in there this morning make well over the $300 monthly fee we charge. That is in part with Dax Trades and Alex Imber, so check those out. And if not, I will be back every day as long as I take a trade, and if I don't, I will recap the ones that you could have.